that recording, Right. And quality, man, it's quality. Where did I start, man? I just got back in the house a wee while ago. About an hour ago. After a absolutely mental weekend, man. It was mental. And, well, I thought I need to get this written down, man. I got to get this all written down. Or recorded down. In case something happens to us. Man. It's that serious. So start at the beginning. It was like Friday night was pretty straightforward. Like, goes out to a pub with my pals. Then we all trooped up with town. As you do that, I'm buying most of the drinks because most of my pals are on the gyro and that. I'm working, so it's only fair getting. And I was alright. Woke up, hungover. It was cool. Saturday night, last night, it goes out again, but I've got hardly any money left, right? And goes to this club. I don't want to say the name of the club. It's about 11 o'clock. I've got no money left, man. I'm just gonna go away for a piss. And I get back. My table is empty, all my pals are gone. Troops have not got any loyalty these days, man. No loyalty these days. But I see this lassie, right? It's our table, she's like that. One here. I was like that, right? She's talking to me. Aye. She's like, I'm on. Come on, get a drink. And she's pretty tidy, like, so I get her there. And she's already got like 4 or 5 ice cold Heinekens. Bottles of Heineken on the table. She gives one, takes it, it's like, aye, cheers then, aye, thanks very much, I appreciate that, cheers. She's like, no bother at all. Cool, starts talking and that, it was good. And I says to her, like, where's your pals? She's like, they're just having a piss, they'll be back in a minute. A few minutes later, our pals come back, and a lassie and a guy. So I introduced each other and that, and having a wee chit chat, and it was cool. But they looked a wee bit like they weren't fair around here, Ken. Like their jawlines and that looked a bit different, and their complexion was a bit different, and I thought, they just look like they're from somewhere else. And that's cool. And then she goes, here, do you want another drink? I'll go to the bar, get an here. And I says, listen, hen, I've actually not got any money, right? I can't pay you back. It's cool, man. It's no bother. Get you a drink. Alright, cheers, hen. Gets another drink. Takes a wee swig. And that's the last thing I remember for that night, man. I blacked out, man. I just blacked out after that. So anyway, I wakes up this morning in this house. Not this house, this is my house. I wake up in their house. And this big bed, clean sheets. I'm like, what the fuck am I, man? What the fuck am I? My clothes are on this chair next to the bed, right? They're all folded up in that. I'm just like super suspicious, man, because like my flat, right, it's just a mattress on the floor. Ken, and I come in for a night out normally, man, my clothes go straight in the floor drop, Ken. But here they are lying on this chair all folded up, nice and neat. It didn't make any sense at all. And there's nobody else about, right? The lassie, she's not there, guys, no, there's nobody. It's just myself. All by myself. And so I gets my clothes on. And I'm keeping a wee eye out thinking, right, is this a practical joke or something? He's going to jump out on his can. No. Gets my clothes on. Checks to see if my keys and my phone, my wallet, and they're all still there. I've not been robbed. It's cool, except phone was down to 4%. 4%. The charger. So I thought, right, Muzz, you're in a strange house, but you've got everything's here. Just get out and go home, in case something bad happens, right? So I saunters down the stair, and I looks about. There's nobody there. So I looks right into the kitchen, man, and I see a bottle, ice cold, iron brew. I could tell it was ice cold or not, because it had the condensation running down the side of it again. Like somebody just taken it out the fridge about maybe an hour before. So I'm rough as a badger's arse at this point, mate. My mouth's as dry as candy sandal, so I'm like right earlier. Ripped the cap off it, man. Knocked it down. And I won it. It's gone. Just like that. Next to it was a plate of Tunnock's tea cakes, right? And a handwritten note. Now, I didn't even like Tunnock's tea cakes, I left them on it. But I picked up my note and I read it and it said, Muzz, cheers for a brilliant night last night. Had a great time. Welcome to your new home, or some pish like that. But it was that last line, welcome to your new home. What's that meant to mean, man? What's that meant to mean? Welcome to your new home? This isn't my home, man. This isn't my home. Okay? So I start freaking out a wee bit, thinking, right, this isn't right at all. So grabs my jacket, grabs my phone, I goes down and I look at the living room window, right? And I look up the street and I look down the street, there's nobody there. But there's something wrong, I know. The houses were different. Like the architecture was different, okay? The street was different. Even the sky just didn't look right to me, didn't feel right to me. So I'm starting to think these people for last night, right? They didn't look like they were from Edinburgh. And I'm starting to think, right, maybe in the middle of the night somebody chucked us on one of the mental rendition flights to somewhere in Eastern Europe or something, okay? I might make it him. Okay, what I mean? So anyway, I just out the front door. That's me. There's nobody about. I check my phone again, I'm down to 3% battery, right? I see the time on all. 20 past 10 in the morning. 20 past 10, Sunday morning. I thought, right, that's why there's nobody about. Everybody's still in bed, hungover. And there's this funny smell. Funny smell in the air, and I didn't have data, right? So I didn't think I could use Google Maps to locate myself. But then I look and I see the Wi-Fi symbols on. It's connected to this house. Free Wi-Fi. Must have had it connected last night somehow. I didn't remember doing it. So it gets on Google Maps, it's working. Locate. And my heart just sank, man. Just sank. I realised where I was. Dunfermline. It's in Fife. It's in the middle of Fife. Which is why I explained the different houses and the funny smell and that. Like in Edinburgh, like you grow up hearing about you hear the stories. Everybody hears the stories now in their way about Fife. About how they live with the coos and the sheep and the wolves and that's what's turned them into savages, and they've sort of turned their back on civilization and that kind. So, and when you're wee, they're like, you better be a good boy. Be a good boy, I'm going to set a fifers on you. Stuff like that. So that's me, man. I'm panicking. I'm full panic mode now, man. I chuck my hoodie up, right? Keep my head down, thinking, man, I've got to get out of here. I've got to get out of here, man. This is it. I'm in the belly of the beast. I'm in the chamber of horrors, man. I've got to get out of here. So I check my phone again, I'm down to 2%, right? And I'm like, I need to find the nearest bus stop or something, okay? And there is one bus stop. And it's 5 minutes walk away. Like, well, that's fortunate, right? Because the only explanation that there's nobody about right now is because all the Fifers are still in bed, hungover, for doing whatever they do on a Saturday night. Probably like sacrificing sheep and chanting and covering themselves in blood and that. Whatever. I don't know what they do. It's none of my business. But I thought, I've got to get to that bus stop. I've got to get to that bus stop now. Just get going. So I starts walking, right? I just keep my head down. And thankfully I didn't run into anybody, right? There's nobody about. But of course I get this bus stop. I see there's an old boy in there. There's an old fella in there. And that worried me, Ken, because if he detects that I'm not fit about these parts, strong possibility that I could be in serious trouble, Ken. So I've no choice. I just get in the bus stop and I sit down. And I'm scanning the bus stop like that. Looking for the information sheet, looking for the timetable and that. There's nothing there. But on the ground there's broken glass, so I'm thinking it's probably been smashed 100 times and they just didn't bother replacing the timetable and that, okay? So I've no choice, I've got to ask this guy. He's my only source of information at this point. But I can if I ask him 2 weekly, like Ken, 2 week, then he might just pounce on his. But if I'm too aggressive, might also start some trouble, okay? So I have to find this middle ground. So I just turns to him and I goes, "Here, do you ken if there's a bus to Edinburgh from here?" And he just turns and looks at us like that. Aye. Bus to Edinburgh will be along in about 10 minutes, son. Take you right to St Andrew's Square. And I thought, what, seriously? Aye, that's good. Alright, cool. That couldn't have worked out any better. Take me straight home. So the pressure's coming off a wee bit, right? I've just got to hold out another 10 minutes for this bus. But then I realise I've not got any money. And my bus pass doesn't work. Here. Because they've got like different buses and that, again, funny looking buses. So again, I've got to turn to this boy, he's my lifeline, mate. I turn to him and I say, listen, here pal. Thing is, I'm skint. I've no money and I need to get out of here. Is there any chance you could give us a line? And he looks at us like that again. And he reaches inside his jacket pocket and I thought, I said, man, that's me. He's going to pull out a knife and just do me right there and then, okay? But he pulls out a £5. And then he pulls out a £1 coin and a 50p piece. And he goes, here. That's £6.50, mate. And I'll give you. And I thought, oh, cheers, pal. I really appreciate that. Like, do you want to give your address and that? No. Ken, I'll send the money back. He says, nah. That's fine, pal. That's for you. It's for you as a gift. And I was like, no, seriously, mate, I don't, mate. No, it's a gift. It's for you. It's fine. And that's me thinking, man. This is unbelievable, like, you know. It's, maybe I was wrong about the Fifers all this time. But then I thought, I'm gonna push my luck just a wee bit more, cause something still doesn't smell right here. Okay. So I sort of leans back and I goes, oh man, I'm choking on a fag, man. Choking on a fag. And he looks at us again, he reaches inside his jacket pocket and I thought, man, that's me, I've done it, man, that's me. He's going to stab us now. Pulls out a fag. Hands it to me. There you go, pal. And here's a lighter on it. And I picks it up and I looks at it and I'm Lambert and Butler. That's my brand. That's the ones I smoke it. That's the ones I smoke. Okay. Too good to be true. And then he turns and he goes, here. Just take the whole packet, son. And I says, no, Peter, I can't take all your fat. He says, I don't smoke. I says, well, yeah. He says, no, I don't smoke, son. Gave it up years ago. Gave it up years ago. And that's me. I'm thinking, right, pal, so you've got these fags, right? You've got his money. Is there something going on here? Is there something going on, Ken? And I says to him, did you ken I would be here? Because that's like the only explanation, Ken. I was like, did you ken I was going to be at this bus stop? And he looks at me and goes, in a manner of speaking, aye, I did. And I thought, right, I says, I don't know what's going on. He goes, listen, your bus is almost here. He'll be here in a few minutes. Don't worry about any of this stuff. Take the fags, take the bus fare, and just get home, alright? And I was like, right, aye. And I went quiet for a minute. But I thought, no, I have to, Ken. I have have to ken what's going on here. So I says to him, mate, I need to ken the truth. I need to ken. I have to ken. He says, listen, do you really want to hear the truth? Do you really want to know what's going on? Because you might not like it. And you could just leave now and never have to worry about this ever again. I said, man, I need to know the truth. This is driving his mental. I don't know what's going on. I have to ken the truth, right? Alright, son, he says. Here's the truth. About 25 years ago, a secret government programme was started, right, with the idea of getting more people into Fife, new blood, diversify the gene pool, so that they can survive and prosper. So what happens, right, is they send groups of agents out every weekend, all over Scotland, Glasgow, Edinburgh, Inverness, Stirling. They didn't go to Aberdeen, I don't know why. They didn't go to Aberdeen. They go all over the place. They bring people back. That's the truth. And that's what's happened to you. And that's when it hit me. That's when I realised. And I says to him, I goes, you're no fae Fife, are you, pal? No, son. No, I'm not fae Fife. You're fae Edinburgh, aren't you? Aye. And I says to him, so, what'd you do this for? Like, why are you here? He says to me, he says, son, every Sunday I do this. I sit at the bus stop and I wait. And there's always somebody comes along trying to get away. This time it's you. That's why I knew that you'd be here. I didn't ken it would be you, but I knew you'd be here. And I'm doing my bit to fight against the tyranny of that programme. He says, if I can just help one person to escape, then it'll all be worth it. He says, I can't stop them all. I can't beat them alone. But if I can help you get out here to get back to Edinburgh, then it'll all be worth it. Because I'll make a small difference in the world. A small positive difference in the world. I says to him, I says, what's your name? I asked him his name. My name's John. I was like, John, why don't you come with me? Let's get on that bus together. Get out here. I can't go, son. I says, how no? Just get on the bus, John. Just come on. I'm in too deep, son, he says. I can't leave, I'm in too deep. It's too late for me. But it's not too late for you. Here comes your bus. Here it comes. And the bus starts pulling up. And I get up. And I say, thanks, John. Thanks. He says, get on that bus. Then I look back. Then I worry about me. I'll be alright. So I gets on the bus, I pay the fare, I grab a seat and I look out the window and I see John there. He looks up at his, gives a wee nod. And I look back down him, give him a wee nod. And the bus pulls away. Go home safe and sound, it was fine. Here I am, back in Edinburgh, in my flat. And see, I've been like really cynical in that, right? Like real negative about a lot of things in the world. Never really expect a lot of good stuff to happen, Ken. Always dwelling on the negative side of things. But I learned something today, that there's people out there, good people out there, doing good things, like John. You know, he's fighting a good fight in that. Moral. He helped me escape before a single Fifer woke up. Got me out of there. But I wanted to write this down, get this recorded, just in case something happens. I hope that none of you have to experience what I had to experience this weekend. Take care. I'm going to turn off the recording now and I'm going to make a few copies, leave it in different places, my pals and our family, and I'll leave some in my ma, in case something ever happens to me. Maybe if you're watching this now, you can spread the message. Be like John and do the right thing. Cheers.